So it's Thursday. I started this partial treatment program on Monday, and I got out of an inpatient program the Monday before. Of course, I have a lot of external life stressors since my life is really chaotic. So even while I was in the hospital, I had a lot of, normal things that would create normal stress, but I already have a lot of anxiety either way, so. But in the hospital, I was really able for the first time to start doing a lot of work on myself. I knew it would get harder once I was out of the hospital because that's, real life isn't like a inpatient psychiatric setting. That's, real life has a lot more going on, a lot more stress, and I've been finding it hard to really deal with everything and face everything and sit with my emotions and not go back to unhealthy coping skills. For the past few days, I've just felt stagnant in my improvement, which, I'm a little bit too all or nothing, so I need to stop expecting everything to change in a day. But I definitely, I just get so sick of, life sucks, and I just feel like blah all the time. I just get so sick of all the negative feelings that I have to deal with, and I did kind of go back to some old coping skills, even though I don't have addiction problems so much as it's a symptom of other things that I'm dealing with. And so I the past couple of nights found alcohol and drank some of it, and that's even more depressing because it doesn't really give you any kind of relief that you think it will. It just sort of barely takes you there, and it's life still sucks and you still feel bad. And I know, I shouldn't be focused on just feeling good, but I don't know. It's I feel like I could afford to feel just a little bit better than I usually do. So, I'm kind of trying to speak up more in groups to get more out of them. So, I really miss the intensive therapeutic help that I was getting inpatient, but that's not real life. So, I just feel like I'm so behind, and with emotional intelligence and emotional awareness, that it's so hard for me to employ coping skills or recognize my emotions or be aware of what's really going on. Right now, my mom's letting me stay at her house for a little bit, thankfully, but I'm trying to look for a place to live. I'm trying to see if I can get some assisted housing. My car is getting ready to, they're gonna take the registration unless I pay some kind of $580 fine because I got pulled over and it wasn't insured. And I'm also facing some legal trouble because they found some weed in my car. So I'm going to probably get charged with a DUI. So my license is probably going to be suspended for a year. And I live in a rural area. It's impossible to not have a car. So that's freaking me out. I've been looking into some options, maybe temporarily, because even where I go for treatment is in kind of a smaller city, an hour away from me. So I've been looking for options as to maybe places where people would let me crash up here so I can keep going to treatment. I don't know, it's all very complicated. Yeah. it's like I'm not sure how to be able to keep pushing through and dealing with, you know, a lot of chaos, which frequently comes around in my life, these constant cycles. But like, you know, I've been pretty good at pushing through chaos and crisis situations. But part of what I do is kind of put up an internal wall, and I kind of disassociate from all of the stress and the emotions of it. And so I'm not sure how to pull out all of these emotions and really try to deal with them with so much other stuff going on. But I guess I'm figuring it out. Yeah, you know, I'm going to keep attending treatments and doing all of this stuff, and I know it's going to be a long process, so it will get somewhere. And it already has to some degree. It's interesting how quickly, like, everything got thrown off for me once I was out of the hospital and dealing with a lot more stress, even though I was still dealing with immense stress in the hospital and had no idea where I was going to live. Like, I had more to figure out when I was in the hospital than I do now, but there was a lot less pressure to live your own life. And I still don't have that much pressure because I'm basically fully dependent on my parents right now, so that's just amazing of them. But certain things have changed, like my sleep schedule has gotten really erratic. Whenever I get stressed out, my appetite just totally goes away, and I have a lot of trouble falling asleep and staying asleep, or I'm just very, very tired all the time. I want to sleep forever. So I think my mom was kind of surprised to see me having trouble sleeping, like, a few days ago, because like she had been with me all night. Like, we had been helping my stepdad renovate some hotels he's contracted with, so she had been with me most of the day, all night, and she saw that I still was having so much trouble sleeping. I got like 3 hours of sleep that night, and she's always kind of, I think, thought that it was because I am like out partying, and you know, it's mostly just because of anxiety. I mean, those things all compound together, and going out and partying doesn't help, but I'm gonna stop drinking and stuff. I had it in my head after, you know, a month going without, like, smoking weed or drinking or anything. I had it in my head that might give me some sort of relief from these feelings, and it doesn't, which I should have known because I was trying that beforehand. I mean, marijuana helps me very much so, like, for my neurological damage and stuff, but it's still not regulated, so it really is hard to self-medicate with stuff, and it really does, like, throw you off and cause all these problems. So I can't wait for it to be medically available so a doctor can medically prescribe it and, you know, regulate it. But yeah, I was going to some, like, NAAA meetings while I was inpatient, even though I've always just been really resistant to doing anything like that. I figured it would be good to get some coping skills, see what they have to offer, and those did help me. So I'm going to go to more things like that, seek out stuff like that to kind of just help me stop trying to escape my problems with any sort of substance use and stuff. So, yep, I'm hoping there's a way that internally I don't just have to learn how to cope well with this and still have to deal with it all the time, but that I can actually internally feel a lot more balanced and better. And maybe through correct coping, even while it still sucks, maybe somehow that will build strength to really ultimately improve my condition overall. One thing that has helped is, like, hanging out with friends and doing, like, not any type of substances, because I know for a while, like, I was super isolated, and the only time I was really socializing was if there was weed or alcohol involved. So it's actually great to get quality connections. That really helps, even though I'm very social, but I'm also very introverted, and when my stress is high, I just don't want to be around people. I'm exhausted. So even though I, like, the couple of times I've hung out with friends and stuff, I've been kind of, like, hesitant to do it. Like, no, I'm tired. But I did it anyways. I felt a lot better for it. And, so, yeah, that's something I noticed. I'm building more quality connections, not while I'm no longer trying to just chase feeling good all of the time. I'm getting more quality moments of actually feeling good. So, yeah, I need to focus on the small improvements I'm making and stop being so all or nothing, but that's how it's going. My would-be 4th day of treatment, I missed Tuesday because Sunday night is the night the insomnia really hit, so didn't get much sleep, and by Monday night I was so exhausted. I slept all day Tuesday, and I did kind of need to do that. It is my chemical regulations in my brain are all off the board, like going crazy because of a multitude of different things, because of neurological damage, because of really high anxiety, plus a lot of life stressors, and it's just this cycle. It's a cycle that all feeds to itself, the catch-22. So, yep, that's where I am today. I think it's April 6th. I don't know.